Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host today, Matthew Howard, joined here by our forecaster, Gavin Sandel. And Gavin, how are our temperatures looking into the weekend?
Well, that's a very good question, Matt. I want to say this weekend is going to be looking like a trampoline. We're going to be bouncing up. We're going to start with very high temperatures on Friday, and then we're going to kind of sink on Saturday with temperatures about freezing. And then going into Sunday, we'll bounce right back up with temperatures in the 40s.
Oh, wow. I actually do like these drastic temperature swings, as it is quite prevalent this time of year. And coming up next is your Nature in the News stories.
A comprehensive study by Virginia Tech researchers has found that major East Coast cities are sinking. From New Hampshire to Florida, cities and adjacent towns have been found to be sinking up to 2 inches per decade. While at first that total doesn't seem large, the combined effects of this subsidence as well as sea level rise make an ongoing climate change situation even more urgent. Subsidence happens naturally, but the overuse of groundwater systems is causing a greater risk of flooding. The region with the greatest subsidence is the Delmarva Peninsula. Cities there, such as Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and Ocean City, Maryland, are sinking around 6 centimeters per decade. Nassau County, located on New York's Long Island, is the county on the East Coast with the greatest percentage of area that is sinking, with over 80% of the area at risk. The silver lining to these findings, according to experts, is that nothing is currently in a critical situation. Though if change isn't made, the gradual sinking of land in the long run will result in significant costs and damage.
El Nino is a telltale of the 2023 through 2024 winter. But will this pattern stick around for long? The Climate Prediction Center's studies show a 79% transition back into an ENSO-neutral pattern from April to June 2024. What may this mean? It can bring slightly below average temperatures to most of the United States, especially to the eastern half. This transition is occurring from our current El Nino, which brought above average eastern and central Pacific Ocean temperatures. These temperatures will work their way back towards average. La Nina can return after this June to August with a 55% chance of occurrence, with chances increasing further on. La Nina indicates that the Pacific Ocean temperatures will likely be below average. It could lead to another active hurricane season for this year. With this possible occurrence, it may resemble similar weather patterns to those from 2020 to 2023.
A tropical storm formed this week in a place typically void of tropical activity. Tropical storm Ankara, located in the South Atlantic Ocean east of Brazil, is the first storm of this magnitude in 3 years. Meteorologists first tracked the system on February 16th when a low-pressure system formed on Brazil's coastline. It then meandered eastward, taking in the warm ocean water when it became a tropical depression this past Sunday. By Monday, the depression strengthened into a tropical storm, though it has since weakened back into a depression. The hostile South Atlantic basin possesses strong upper-level winds, which can shear off high clouds and stunt the vertical growth of a cyclone. While wind shear is a common phenomenon on Earth, it is greatest in the South Atlantic and subsequently cuts the number of tropical systems down. In fact, just 4 tropical storms have formed in the past 14 years there, which is 10 less than a single average season in the North Atlantic. As the week presses on, Ankara will drift southward until it finally dissipates over the weekend.
While above average temperatures are mainly prevalent across the United States, locations on the other side of the globe are experiencing drastic changes. China is experiencing a record-breaking cold spell, a quite impressive one for the region. Xinjiang, China reached negative 62 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest temperature recorded there for 64 years. Temperatures were about 30 to 40 degrees below average across interior Asia. This polar vortex was so extreme that birds even started to freeze. Travel disruptions occurred throughout China out ahead of Lunar New Year celebrations. Lunar New Year is one of the most popular holidays in China and is a long-lasting tradition. The festivities start on February 10th, China's New Year's Eve, and last for 15 days beyond that. Despite the extreme cold outbreak in China, temperatures will rebound back closer to average for the future.
Say goodbye to the rain this weekend, as we will have a nice few couple of days going into this weekend. Starting with Friday, the low pressure system that impacted us on Thursday will move out. We might have some rain showers in the morning as that system exits, but going into Friday and especially the afternoon, the rain will be mainly located in the Atlantic coast, more so New Jersey, New York, and upper New England, while there might actually see some mixage and snow showers as well. But behind this low pressure system and behind this cold front will be nice chilly air and maybe some gusty conditions as well. Going into Saturday, though, this low pressure system will be all the way up located in Atlantic Canada and will start to be under the influence of a high pressure system, which will be located over about Michigan at that point. But what will remain is cold conditions. And as that high pressure system will drag in the winds from the north, we'll get some cold temperatures, say at about 32 degrees, right at the freezing mark. And there will be a little bit of a, Clipper-like system impacting the Ohio Valley, though we'll see none of that, just some nice sunny skies. So if you do have any plans going on Saturday, this is the day to do so. And more so Sunday as well. And I say that because the high pressure system is now going to be dragging the air from the south, which means it'll be much milder on Sunday. There will be snow showers to our north, and that's a bit of a teaser for what's to come in the week ahead, as there's a low pressure system located all the way up by the Hudson Bay of Canada. But what will remain here on Sunday will be nice sunny to partly cloudy, mild conditions in our area. So let's time it out. Friday, that's when those rain showers will start to taper off, start to escape our area. It'll be a warmer high of 48 degrees, but then we'll start to tumble in our temperatures. 21 degrees for Friday night. It'll be mostly cloudy, but still we'll start to get down there near flirting with 20 degrees. Saturday is when we'll be pretty cold. 32 degrees flirting with freezing, and it will be chilly with those northerly winds. Going into Saturday night, it'll be the final chill. We'll get all the way down to 20, and that is just a preview for Sunday, when it'll be 44 degrees, much nicer conditions with those winds blowing in from the south, and we'll have that nice mix of sun and clouds coming our way. Then Iaia is coming up next with a feature on climate change and mental health.
Recent studies have shown an alarming rise in mental illness. Climate change appears to be one of the driving forces behind this trend. A 2021 study is shining light on a dangerous trend in anxiety and depression, especially among global youth. The study recorded responses of 10,000 members of Gen Z, or people ranging between about 16 to 25 years old. Responses were collected from 10 different countries throughout the world. The findings showed that Gen Z has a highly negative attitude when it comes to climate change. On average, 27% of the 10,000 respondents were, quote, extremely worried about the climate change. Another 32% answered that they were very worried, and 25% reported that they were moderately worried. Only 5% of the responses said that they were not at all worried about climate change. Young adults from the Philippines were the most worried, with only 1% responding that they were not concerned about climate change at all. American youth, on the other hand, were the least concerned overall, with 9% reporting that they were not worried. In addition to the worry about the impact climate change has on the world, Gen Z respondents were asked about their emotions regarding climate change. 67% reported feeling sad when they thought about climate change. 57% claimed that they became angry when thinking about climate change. Just over half of the respondents said that they felt helpless when they thought about climate change. And when asked to think about climate change, 38% reported feeling depressed. Such a large proportion of young people are reporting such negative emotions, which shows that climate change is widely viewed as an existential threat. The people being studied were also asked if they believed if their governments were helping with the cause. In short, a large proportion do not believe that the governments are doing enough to help to stop climate change. In fact, 64% reported that they believed government was not taking the threat seriously. Over half of respondents believed that the government was dismissing scientific evidence and research. 61% of respondents believed that governments were not protecting the planet and future generations from climate catastrophes. Nearly two-thirds reported that they felt betrayed by governmental inaction towards climate change. These feelings are not unique to young adults, however. A study after Hurricane Katrina in 2005, which ravaged the Gulf Coast, showed that nearly 1 in 6 people in Louisiana and Mississippi suffered from PTSD symptoms. A similar case study after Hurricane Sandy in 2012 showed that 15% of residents in New York City experienced PTSD symptoms. A similar story in Houston after Hurricane Harvey flooded the city in 2017 showed that 25% of people had PTSD symptoms as well. After Hurricane Maria in the same year, 44% of Puerto Ricans displaced by the storm reported that they also experienced PTSD symptoms. In addition to PTSD developed by those impacted by hurricanes, other severe weather events can also lead to depression. One such report showed that 54% of all adults in the United States experienced some sort of depression after a weather catastrophe. Climate change is not only impacting the world's ecosystems and weather patterns. Recent weather events have also become more severe as a result of climate change, and the mental toll that they take on people are real. If a natural disaster forces symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, or depression, it is never too late to seek help. Chances are you're not alone in a mental health fight against climate change. In the end, we are all in it together. For Whether or Not, I'm Benjamin Iaia.
Well, you all thought jumping on the temperature trampoline was a lot of fun. Get ready to ride on the temperature roller coaster. We'll start with this weekend on the trampoline. Friday going into Saturday and Sunday, it was relatively clear. No rain in the forecast except for Friday morning when that rain will start to taper off and head eastward. But it will be 48 degrees, quite the clear day in the afternoon. Going into Saturday, those northerly winds will kick that temperature down to just 32 degrees, and two lows of 21 and 20 will be pretty chilly at night. Sunday, though, that's when you rebound to a nice 44-degree temperature. And let's talk about the temperature roller coaster. Yeah, this line is not wrong. It's just that much above average. Monday going into Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, which is crazy for this time of year. Though as we go into Thursday and Friday, we'll start to see some rain chances and then temperatures starting to climb back near average, but absolutely not close to average. And really, this entire February has been crazy when it's come to these warm temperatures. And Matt, your quiz question is about these warm temperatures in February, right?
Yes, it is. We're going to definitely discuss about the warm temperatures in February. So our Weather Whiz quiz question for today is, what is the record highest minimum temperature recorded for February in State College? Is it A, 55 degrees, B, 56 degrees, C, 50 degrees, or D, 46 degrees? And if you chose A, 55 degrees, you would be correct. And Gavin, that was in 1954, so just about 70 years ago.
Wow. I mean, we have had very high temperatures in the month of February, but none that have compared to this. That would be crazy to have a low so high.
Yeah, and we are definitely going to have some abnormally high low temperatures within the next week. So I'm wondering if it will be anything close to record.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching another episode of Whether or Not, and we hope to see you next week.